Episode 4 of Manimal is an easy plot to break down because you just gotta look at the handy manual in the DVD. Yes, a complete plot breakdown of all the episodes. Why even watch them now? JC and Mackenzie look like they have conflicting feelings about all the spoilers and the synopsis. No need to spend that big of a paragraph summing it up. In Female of the Species, they find a wolf girl who is of course in danger and winds up being kidnapped. There we go. No need to elaborate more. I guess this is the Halloween episode of the series. It's referenced a couple of times, and it did air on October 28th of 1983. You can watch it after the airings of the Garfield and Charlie Brown specials. This was the only episode to be directed by George Fenady, who directed episodes of Baywatch, Mission Impossible, but I'm more interested in his work on the 1967 series Garrison's Gorillas. Kinda wish it was a unit comprised mostly of gorillas. Writer Michael Burke must have been a huge fan of his own work here, because this same script, where the lead takes care of a young girl raised by wolves, was also used for the 1986 episode of The Wizard titled Endangered Species, and then in the 1994 Thunder in Paradise episode, also titled Endangered Species. This is a writer who was there opening day for every adaptation of The Jungle Book. No clue if anyone turns into a dolphin on those later episodes. This one will require a lot of note-taking, though, because they're already in class.
I filmed this hunt to document for the first time the capture of a human being raised as a wolf.
Also, I, your humble narrator, have turned into a dog. JC must be between cases, so he's simply just attending a lecture on Mondo movies all about dog girls.
When I spotted her, she was with them in their lair, untamed, less than human.
And here is a picture of her head, currently mounted on my wall. You know those delicious bratwursts you ate in the school cafeteria? That's her. The class seems into it, though. Not sure that required a round of applause, you animals. This episode is starting out fast. We've already found the wolf girl, so let's get to it. Even the villains are here early.
She learns to fear her own kind as predators.
With her keen senses, she knows when the villains are approaching with their threatening music. The school has her locked away safe in a cell that looks enough like a cave as it is, surrounded by dynamite. Cartoons taught us that animals love dynamite but hate fire. Uh-oh, she's made a mess on the floor again. Detective Mackenzie is right on top of this.
Her howling sounds so sad.
That's not sadness.
That's ADR. No way that dog voice is coming from that girl. While she lived in the jungle, she also picked up on stunt work. Wait, I thought you had to turn into a panther to jump through the window. Boy, am I foolish. This was the only acting role for Laura Cushing, who does an excellent job of knowing the ways of the jungle and also letting the other animals do her hair and makeup. This is a busy alleyway full of cameos. No joke, that extra is Gloria Stewart of Titanic, clearly regretting throwing away the heart of the ocean as she eats from a dumpster. JC is shown to be a hit with the ladies, but what about those who also have dog DNA?
Don't be afraid.
She clearly trusts him fully, or is worried JC is going to turn into a schnauzer to sniff each other's butts. While they're climbing up the building, I should also check to see if this episode inspired classic films, such as Little Indian Big City or Jungle to Jungle. She's disappeared just as JC learned her language.
Blast.
See? He can do 80-yard voices as well! If that doesn't work, confuse the poor girl and all other animals by turning into the hawk. Jesus! I'm not eating from the dumpster filled with used needles again! Damn it, JC, in the time it's taken you to change, she's already gone back to the Amazon.
What the hell? Give me the Birds Anonymous. I'm giving up my addiction to birds. There's a moldy item from Burger Chef that'll do the trick. No! At least let me take the honey mustard.
But the real band of feral cats are due to arrive.
Baby, you're looking. Well, hey, look what we got.
What? Were you all just standing around her waiting to swoop in? This is a very important scene.
Hey, what are you dressed for? Halloween?
That's right, they dubbed in a line knowing this would air on October 28th. What kind of gang is this? They look like they're from the country club, but attack girls in broad daylight with switchblades? The costume department didn't know if they were on their way to a Porky's audition or Death Wish. Once again, they are 12 steps ahead of Lieutenant Rivera.
Got the report from the arson squad. That fire was no accident.
No shit, what gave it away? The bomb? This case is very personal to JC.
Listen, that Professor Barda she belongs to.
She belongs to no one. She's a human being like you or me.
Sure, she ran off with a park frisbee that she caught in her mouth, but she is still people, damn it! I love that she's been missing for 14 years, has no clue how civilization works, but is smart enough to know that she must get to the zoo, which is where the wolves are sleeping. There she'll find the severed arms of a dozen bratty kids trying to feed the animals their corn dogs. You'd think that turning into a wolf would be the obvious choice, but we only have footage of the panther that we can reuse. Plus, she'll think JC is her old friend Bagheera. Sorry, love. I also soiled myself to mark my territory against the wolves. However, we're getting new material here, as in we actually see him change back into human form. I say new material, but really, we'll just use the same footage but play it backwards, while she reacts perfectly normal to this. Cars scare her, but this is totally legit. I'd advise not reusing this footage though, unless you could figure out some way to take the camera shadow off his shirt. It's like the college fling that JC never had. You won't be smiling, Mackenzie, when she humps his leg and gives him fleas. They have more than enough room at JC's pad. Look, you have a whole corner in the living room all to yourself. You know, I do think I have a dog bed with the image of a bone on it. Let me get that.
It's all right.
Uh-oh, I sense a love triangle, and Mackenzie does too.
You violated her territory.
Or she sees me as a rival for you.
I have never been happier in my life. And where the hell is Ty? Is that him? I'm gonna be sorry I asked, aren't I?
I don't know how I got home without you two.
I have the feeling that this is gonna get stupid. Again, spotting a Manimal doesn't scare her, but Ty in full Excalibur garb?
Woo! Anybody?
I knew this was gonna turn into that movie about the racist dog. Ty hasn't humiliated himself enough in this scene.
Oh, God.
You brought home some weird dates, JC. But this one, she wins first prize.
He thinks JC brought home a dog girl date and made her sleep on the carpet? I love the cutting in this episode too.
You violated her territory.
I did what? I never laid a hand on her.
She's on the streets at night.
But anyway, we'll toss Ty in the drying machine because there's still the villain plot where the evil Stanford Langley wants her dead. I'll get to that momentarily, Mackenzie. I must figure out why I have a wallaby in my study. Then we can talk about who gets custody of the girl.
She's entitled to police protective custody.
Which means you as custodian.
Precisely.
I already own a lifetime supply of Alpo, and she can chew on Ty's rope toy. It can't be too hard to narrow down where the girl came from.
Then we can check old newspaper accounts and see if there's a report of a girl from the States who disappeared in India who was about that age.
Very good, Mackenzie. I'm also told she was in the Amazon with her mom, researching spiders right before she died. Let's take a break before she sneaks away to be a roadie for her favorite 80s hair band.
At least we're gonna find her before they do.
And before whoever tries to kill her does.
You got me after a wild animal. I'm a hitman, not a hunter.
She has to die.
This is the way people talk. Somehow, you understand.
We're back, and JC is taken to his new parenting role. Well,
You miss the comfort of the pack, don't you?
easy boy. The more the episodes go on, the more obvious JC is with his flirting.
But I don't think she likes clothes much.
Well, this has my scent on it. Perhaps you should try this.
Smooth, bro. Yes, I could have gotten a shirt from the dresser, but this is far sexier. She's cleaned up rather nicely. She's gone from looking like Clan of the Cave Bear to Dynasty. We've got murder plots in this episode as well as custody battles with the professor.
The police can protect her at the university. It's a sham for you to steal my find.
She is not your find.
Look at her dog tag, it has my address on it. Plus, the professor doesn't have an ostrich to keep her distracted while they solve the mystery, where in 1969, a family drowned after a boat capsized in India, only the young girl Sarah was never found. I hope the killers are the owners of a Jungle Cruise Line, fearing a lawsuit if she talks. Michael McGuire is a bastard. Now I know why Diane didn't marry you on Cheers. JC is learning the hard way not to take the convertible when there's assassins trying to kill the girl. He can't catch the hitman yet, though. There's always a truck blocking the path halfway into any 80s procedural.
Well, looks like this home was a washout.
Uh-huh. Maybe not.
Toys, huh?
Yes, a squeaky toy. We can teach her fetch. Kidding, JC is on a budget and everyone's bought up all the pound puppies, so here's some discount Noah's Ark toys.
Yeah, but I am an elephant, and this is what an elephant can do to a diner.
We need to train her to be a better judge of comedy. Don't worry, there's a point to this.
Daddy. Mommy.
Sure, we could have just shown her a picture of her family in the boat, but Ty's enjoying himself. He's needed some new toys to play with. It's this that causes her to remember that her family died on the boat, and somewhere Gloria Stewart is recalling her boat stories too. Plus, we know who the real villain is. Damn you, Skeletor? Didn't see this crossover coming. As for Langley, he just used the words business partner to describe Sarah's dad, so okay, you had them killed for inheritance money. Got it. He's been very obvious about being evil. She remembers him from being in the lecture at the beginning. He was the one in the crowd with the distinct villain of the week face. How do we pad this out when we already know the answers?
Discover the delights of modern technology. No, I think...
That's right, it's Mr. Mom now. Or it's turning into a weird sex comedy, I can't tell.
No, Sarah. Humans don't groom each other like wolves do.
At least not before polishing off a bottle of 1983 Villa Wolf Pinot Noir. Ooh, why can't Mackenzie lick the bubbles off my face, no matter how many times she walks in on me in the tub? And to think she was about to rub ice cubes on his chest right before it gets into the obligatory kidnapping plot. Mackenzie is relieved that she's not the one being kidnapped in this episode. Even her 80-yard voice doesn't know how to do the lines here.
Oh, no.
Perfect read, Mackenzie. Now find the nearest boat doing a softcore porno spread. JC will know how to drive that one. Then she went missing and was raised by sharks. Why does Langley even want her dead? She can't talk, let alone know the details about how you killed her family, or that you even did it. I'm crossing my fingers that JC turns into a whale to swallow the boat whole and shoot the girl out of his water spout. Hurry, before they drown her in a box! Crap, we gotta take her out for a walk. Just bring a baggie to pick up the feces. How worse could this get?
Look, there's a shark.
By all means, take your time again, JC. He doesn't want to turn into a shark again, so instead he gives us a crossover with Flipper, where he beats the shit out of a shark. This was a bad time to be a shark. First they had to take on zombies, and then fighting a manimal? Impossible. This has the dumbest set of villains yet on a Manimal episode. Seriously, you guys didn't have to do any of this. This case would have been thrown out once she went on the witness stand and barked her testimony. If you just stayed quiet, no one would know that you're evil. But I'd be sad that JC wouldn't take the stand as the dolphin. I'm really disappointed that it didn't end with Ty saying, "Yo, where'd JC at?" and then cutting to We only have 30 seconds left, so that means she can talk now.
Sarah, girl.
By George, I think she's got it. You're in trouble now, bro.
And then Sarah was never seen in the series again. On the next Manimal, we're getting into the world of horses, where JC and Ty take up horse racing.
Howdy, sugar. I'm Mrs. Austin, and this is my horse trainer, Charles. Dolphin!